but nature stripped. He's a force of nature today. Can he do it? Chautauqua, he's flying. Yeah!
But Kementari hit the front deliberately.
But this is a blitz. It's a weak blitz.
Have a go, you mug.
Hey Mugs, back again for another great episode of Making Queensland Racing great again. If you don't believe us, that's why I put it on the sign.
Yep.
With our, well, we didn't mention this the other week actually. Our baby girl Subpoenaed, who is a cornerstone of what Mugs punting is all about, retired.
Oh,
Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't know that.
Well, there's breaking 3 weeks later, Mugs.
Haven't black booked that information yet, mate.
That's why you've got so much money at the moment, mate.
Yeah.
Haven't had a losing bet.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Thankfully, the big H is still going around, so we can go around. But look, boys, we're down at the GC this weekend. It's Pink Ribbon Day, so a bit of a metro day. We've got Eagle Farm on Friday for some reason, and we were just having a whinge about it as we normally do. So we're not looking at Eagle Farm here right now, but we'll have some winners for you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
But Bean, I know you're a bit of a GC fiend, mate. What do you think of the bit of a mix-up for the form and how's the confidence going in?
I have not much confidence. I punt horribly at I don't punt that well at Eagle Farm, to be fair. If it's not a doom, then it's almost just ignore anything I throw at it. But the GC and the Sunny Coast are not my favourite tracks, but the Gold Coast is generally on paces though. I think you'll find so.
It's one of those ones I find it's either mad on pace or they come 15 wide and win down the outside rail on the same day though.
That's what I was going to say. It's almost a bit like Moonee Valley, where if you either lead and
if you're right, you're right. But if you're wrong, you're very wrong. Pretty
otherwise
quickly.
you're just coming in and you're slingshotting in and
Yeah.
sort of straight over the top of them, like a couple of those Magic Millions wins.
But if I can tip 2 winners, I'll be pretty happy. I think I might have to as well. Just quite.
$1.90 under or over, 1.5 winners.
Well, I think there's one winner that we can hopefully smash into later in the card. But look, rail looks to be it's out one pretty much in the true. Weather looks unreal, so that's the other thing with the GC.
So it's soft 7, but it has to be good forward.
Well, it's been sunny all week.
Soft 5.
Mark, this is why we present for you from paradise, so you can see what the weather's doing up here. But it turns into a bog when there is rain. Yeah. But I think we're going to be clear of that. Going to be clear of that. But we've got to just step back a bit here, boys, because there's a little thing called last week's winners recaps. Any of you two want to put your hand up and self-proclaim?
London, I got London Banker again, the fourth time.
I think onto the cube, but
I think we've caught it.
Realistic boy.
I think we've caught it 4 out of 4 now. I think we actually caught
the
run.
We've done well.
And we just stuck solid with it and just keeps winning. So
it's
easy when they keep winning.
And as we'll thread through today, it comes through the strongest form line in Australia right now, and that's top order form line. And we're at the Gold Coast, so we've got top order. Another one, Honourable Spirit, came through that form line, which was again picked by yours truly, and then not a bad little jump on Bean's X's, which he loves to hear when Full Nelson gets up.
It happens all too often. The amount of time I tip something and then the next week I'm like, can't back that again, jump off, and then you're like, I'm going to have a crack at that, and then it globs the next week.
Yep.
I'm like, oh. Anyway,
I think last week on the show we took that snip and I think we put it up for a bit of a vote on. Do you launch onto your mates' picks that you know he was on last week and not on, and it was an overwhelming yes, just pretty much for the bragging rights of this moment right now that I got on it.
It's almost a gear change, isn't it? Being off.
It pretty much is.
Yeah, it's the ultimate gear change.
Because
forget Geldon, forget a good gate, good jockey.
Well, if he's not taking him out to the sea, he's putting the moz on him himself. So. You know,
that's it. Well, he put Royal Witness in the sea and it ran absolute cracker at the third the other day too. Probably wins the next time.
Jeez, I was heart in the mouth a long way out there because I just knew we couldn't. You know, we've got 2.
I got another one this week for you. So if it wins, I could be in all sorts of trouble.
Put it this way: we got 2 Rip Snorter segments that we do every week, which the Mugs love. Lloydy's interviews, great success rate, and I'm sure we're gonna find out a little bit more info on who today's guest is. But Beans in the sea, mate. To be fair, none of the ones you potted have come out and won. So that is the idea of the segment.
I think this week could change that thing. I hope not, but anyway, I've been wrong before.
Alright, well boys, we're going to get stuck in because it's a big Group 1 day. George Main Stakes, so we see you very elegant, back to the track, and one of the greatest handicaps ever, the Sir Rupert Clarke stakes down from our good friends there at Caulfield, which is always good value. But first we've got some good news to break. a bit of you getting your house painted, mate. Anyway, he's trying to eavesdrop on the hot tips before they go out to you, Mugs. But we've made a purchase this week, which is pretty good.
Yep.
So we're pretty excited because we've delved in the water. We've tried the the ex-breeder purchase with Mystic Aroma, which we're pretty content on from the start. We've had a bit of a go in the tried horse field. Since then, we've had a bit of success, mixed bags of it, we could say.
Yep.
But we found a little bit of a going forward system, which we want. And Project Paperclip joins the
Great
Mugs
name.
Racing stable. It is a good name. I'm
warming to it.
Yeah, me too. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
PP for
PP
sure.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could make it work, put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And that's just from us
I
carrying
think so.
on like a bunch of lunatics. So look, Mugs, look for what's coming up because you'll have a chance to race with the Mugs, but we've had some pretty good interest already. So we're pretty excited nonetheless to get this fella back into the Holbert stable and the master, really, to have a bit of a spruik over with his little beady eyes and go, boys, let's get this fella to work. So Stradbroke winner. Another 3-year-old,
Bang.
get them while they're young so they can't talk back.
Yep.
Race 1. We're down the GC as we touched on their, Mugs. And look, we start with some pretty good horses coming around in race 1.
It's a good races.
So for those that are wondering why we're down the GC, there's a list, maybe not listed, but a bit of a cash grab cutest race there. The Pink Ribbon, I think it is, Pink Ribbon Day. So it's Breast Cancer Day as well. So we'll actually tie that in for this week's Mug of the Week, which we've got one. Thank goodness. Tell you what, Mugs of the Week, if you get Mug of the Week, you've got to tell us what you're on.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, this week's War Reliable. But she can sing. Mr. Placement himself, Costa, $3.40 favourite, the man himself going, and the other, I guess, Queensland powerhouse stable, Edmonds with Ruka. Well, when we're talking powerhouses, you got Heathcote in there. They're your top 4 horses in the market.
They're
Bean,
stables.
the big goodbye. We just talked just a little bit about rails at Gold Coast. You were on last start, barrier 14. Your favourite jockey on board.
Yeah, she is one of my favourites at the moment. The killer. No, I've had to jump off, I think, mate. I think the barrier is just a bit, it's going to cause a problem here over the 1100. She Can Sing in a River Somewhere. I think She Can Sing will lead and a River Somewhere will probably box seat. I mean, I think they can both lead, but I think a River Somewhere ran just in behind last start, peeled off. It was like one pair back, whatever it was, and just made them look silly. But I'm with She Can Sing for the Costa Yard. Home track advantage. Jag.
Big Jag. He's GC 101 that bloke.
He is.
Follow him on the socials.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's either surfing or skateboarding.
Yeah,
There's nothing in between.
I'm happy to be with one from one track and trip. Tick.
Lloydy.
Yeah, nothing really much for me to add there. I'm keen on She Can Sing. I think she's one of the better bets of the program. Like Elliot said, barrier 3 probably finds the front. I think, River Somewhere, obviously the danger there, second favourite, just about equal favourite, coming off a good win first off at Doomben, and Ruka for the Edmonds with the Gov on board. He's going well, and we'll hear a little bit more about that later, but just worried that the Gold Coast might not be Ruka's track from barrier 12 especially, have to get back. But there's a lot of speed, so it will be running home quickly, but She Can Sing for me.
Mate, well, we could have a bit of deja vu here because I'm actually jumping on Ruka and I'm interested to hear you jumping off. I politely tend to disagree a bit. I reckon it's a real Gold Coast horse. Okay. 2 from 3 at the track, placings that is. Yep. But going through the form, you've got a second to Yao Dash at the coast, and this I think was Magic Millions time.
Yep.
And before that, I remember I was on it one day and Iced actually just flew from nowhere to beat it.
No,
so
that horse.
Yeah, that horse. But it's one that's always had that little bit of potential. It looks, if you go through its form, it's now a 5-year-old with 13 starts. So I think there's obviously been problems on and off. But this could be the prep where strings it all together. Last start wasn't too bad there. The move is, it's probably
it's
good enough form.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
I think we get to see a lot more of the move at this prep too.
Yep.
All right, interesting race 1. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
It is a good one. And race 2, look, we'll keep this short and sweet. It's a pretty easy race to pick. 3 words, top order form. We have race 2, top order, $6.50. Boys, are you finally jumping on with the Moz?
No. I've missed the boat the first 2 times, mate. You've brought me undone.
We're still getting $650, mate. It's
Yeah,
free money.
I know, but you're getting $380 about a Grafton Cup winner who was super off a little freshen up there. Perfect
That's a
deal.
good point, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but
she won the. I mean, she won the Cup Pro there at Grafton by 3.5 lengths with 62 on her back, and then stayed at the track and trip, dropped back to 54, and won the Grafton Cup at listed level. A little freshen up, went to Doomben there behind London Banker.
Yeah,
got beat less than half a length, and she probably should have won that day. She was really strong late over 2,000, goes back up to the 2,200. Jaden Lloyd on board, takes 3 off, 62 kilos still after the claim, but I just think she's better than these.
Does she hold a cup noms as well?
Yeah, she's got a Melbourne
Deal.
Cup nomination.
Yeah,
So I think
interesting.
the plan was the Bart Cummings at Flemington over 2,500 was the race that offers ballot exemption, but
Yeah, she'd need it to get in, wouldn't she?
I think I'm with him on top order. Honourable Spirit's obviously been backed. It's into favourite, but I just thought I think the Waitsman's actually in top order's favour from memory last night when I was reviewing the form. Taylor Marshall Sticks is a bit of a tick here as well. He's flying. I just think the 62 kilos. I'd like Perfect Deal. I mean, in terms of best horse in the race, probably is it. But I think the 62 kilos beats it here, and I think a few of these are a bit smarter than perhaps Mr. Lloyd is giving him credit for. But we shall see. Perhaps a side bet 6-pack or something like that. Top order
it's gonna be
versus Perfect Deal. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll see how we go.
No, you're right, mate. I'm
with top order.
sticking strong too. And look, one point we will make. There's a pretty notable jockey switch here as well. So, a man at the moment, Jaden Lloyd, who's the premiership leading jockey right now, I
he's
believe.
being overtaken by Jimmy last week.
No, we'll scrap that. But, but mate, he's jumped off Honourable Spirit onto Perfect Deal, or is that the case?
Mate, well, look, his little birdies have told me that he's already booked for Perfect Deal. He thinks that she is the better horse, but admits that Honourable Spirit's flying at the minute. He's got Ruka in the first, he's got Perfect Deal here, and he's got Montez in race 5, who's pretty keen on, but have a listen to what the Gov Junior has to say about his 3 chances at the Gold Coast on Saturday.
How's Zach, mate? I'll start off with the brother first. How's he going?
He's alright. He's a little bit upset, but look, that's racing, I guess. He was on a baby having its first gallop, and he tried to run out the gap with him, and he went straight to the outside fence. He's probably lucky. That's probably the worst. Only a broken wrist. It looked a lot worse than that. So, he's upset because he started the season off so well, but probably lucky that the injury was only that little. So.
Yeah, no, that's something at least, mate. Yeah. You've got a decent book of rides on Saturday there at the Gold Coast, and you're flying at the moment, and still on top of the leaderboard at the moment for the Jockeys Challenge.
I think Jimmy Orman's gone past me now. He rode 2 on Saturday, so
yep. Oh, yeah.
That's right. I'll catch him up.
Catch it up. There's plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks a nice book of rides. So hopefully there's a winner or 2 there.
Yeah, mate. We'll start off in the first there with Ruka for Toby and Trent. Rode him last start and probably just got caught out in no man's land, I guess, early on, and had to push up a bit slow away and ran 4th. But behind the move, he's an even money favourite in one of the later on races, and you're drawn awkward again. But what's the game plan there with Ruka?
Yeah, I know. The horse was actually flying. I was confident he beat the move first up, but he's just not a horse that you can't dig him because then he over races. And look, Toby said try and be in front of the couple the other day, and I jumped to try and be in front of the couple and he just got over racing and just took me. So I had no other option, but I think we're just going to have to go right back and just run Colorado because it's just an awkward alley. But look, the horse is going well. If he had a gate, I'd just about say he'd win.
Yep.
But it's just awkward from there. But the horse is going really well. So if he gets there right, he'll be hard to beat.
That looks like there's a fair bit of speed in the race anyway, mate, so it probably almost suits you that you have drawn out and you can stay out of trouble and just snag back.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully they go quick enough, they spread out and slot in somewhere. If you get a nice run, Eagle Farm's going to suit them a lot better than Doomben too. So, I mean, not Eagle Farm, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast, yep.
So, look, if he gets a bit of luck and can get out at the right time, I'm pretty sure he'll run over the top. But, because he's probably better than a lot of the other horses. So, like he's a decent horse. He's been running a lot better races than this. So, look, if he gets really lucky, he'll be hard to beat.
Mate, we head to the next race, and you're probably on what is the best horse in the entire program there, really. In Perfect Deal, she was a Grafton Cup winner 2 starts ago, and then had a bit of a freshen up back to Doom and ran 3rd behind London Banker, which we know how good he's going. He's got the 65, but you take 3 off, and I suppose the big question is, you won on Honourable Spirit on Saturday by 6 lengths, and was it a matter of you jumping off, or you already booked for Perfect Deal, mate, with the big weight?
Yeah, I was already booked for Perfect Deal, unfortunately. Honourable Spirit's flying. He's really going well. Look, they're back up in a row. I don't know. It might take a bit out of them.
Yep.
That's what I'm hoping anyway. But look, I wouldn't have given off Perfect Deal anyway. She's a very good horse. Look, a lot of weight over that ground, but she won with 62 back a couple of starts ago. So I don't see why she can't do it again if she gets the right one.
That's it. She's unbeaten at the Gold Coast, and I suppose, like I say, that 2,200 metres now that she gets back out to, that's got to be right up her alley. Have you had a chance to sit on her before?
No, she's actually a horse that's quite crazy track work. She actually dropped the rider the other day and bolted down the laneway. So I don't know if that's good or not, but look, I wouldn't change anything. Keep the guy on her. Keep the horse is flying. Probably should have won last start, or should have got close to it anyway. So she's quality. She's a quality horse, and all she does, she brings the best. She'll beat these.
Mate, Montez race 5, you with Mary Brosnan, you're shooting for 3 straight on him. Can you get the job done again, or will he find this a little bit tougher?
Nah, he'll be very hard to beat again. My dad rides him every day. The last 2 times he's come back past me after he's going to just win, and he did it again. So that's your reason why not. The horse is flying. Like he's going to be right up in speed. It doesn't look to be an awful lot of speed. So if you get to nice time in front, I don't see why not. You can't beat this again. He's a horse in form, and he's loving racing at the moment. So look, I think he's going to be awfully hard to beat again Saturday.
That's it, mate. Well, I'll leave it at that. They're probably your three best chances, I suppose. How's tomorrow's book of rides look? I haven't had a great look at Eagle Farm yet.
Yeah, not bad. A couple of chances. I think Keaton in the first is going to have a good hope. He's no superstar. Very slow, but the whole field's very slow. So he's got to be one of the best chances there. He's on the backup, so I'm sure he'll run a race. There's a couple of other chances, but most of my best rides are on Saturday, I would say.
Beautiful, mate. Well, best of luck on the weekend. Hopefully, jag a couple of winners and get the Perfect Deal home for us, eh?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
No worries.
Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jaden. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Lloydy, fill us up with confidence every time we do that, mate. So, Mugs, hopefully that, I guess, split the hair if you were leaning towards Honourable Spirit or Perfect Deal. But what we can agree on is race 3 looks to be a bit of a belter. 3-year-olds, handicap conditions. I think we were in this situation 2 weeks ago where we said, on form and what we've seen, Rhapsody Rose should just tear this field apart. And I think race day she was absolutely hammered in, wasn't she? And then decided to ride 17 wide and push on for 4th, which is great. But lines up you're getting $4.40 for a pretty well-credentialed horse. But look, it's a pretty good field. I guess that last start, Rubiquitous.
Ubiquitous?
There we go. Well, you learn how to say it, mate. Does that mean you're jumping on the last start winner there for the Anderson team?
Mate, I'm following a bit of the mods form in here, so I could I'm either gonna just strap on and they'll just get home for us, or I'll stop the train completely and we'll end up dead in the water. But I'm on again, mate. Last start winner, or on first time last start winner. I think the GC track's going to suit it too, because it likes to sort of it's a fairly front running type. It'll be in the first 1 or 2 pairs if it's not leading. I mean, can lead, but I'm happy for it to take a sit. I think it probably races slightly better with the sit. A few extra kilos, second up, a bit extra fitness. I think it had 1 trial leading in as well, so not third up, but it's got the runs under the belt. I think it'll win again. $6, yes please.
Mate, I really struggled in this race, and my sole form reference here is 1 from 1 at the Gold Coast, and the fact that I'm a Liverpool supporter and we've got Merseyside, which is where Liverpool are based in the UK. So the bottom weight for me is each
God,
way.
this sounds like this.
Nick Cyclopedia over here spitting the facts.
Each way.
This sounds like the form of a few of the Phillies at Flemington on Melbourne Cup. They are like those colours.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Pretty much, mate. That's all we've really done here. But Rhapsody Rose burnt me. Burnt me last start. I think Michael Scott filmed me once. Shame on you. Filmed me 3 times. Strike 3 or whatever it is. But that's me with Rhapsody Rose. So Merseyside, each way for me. I think she gets a nice run in transit. She's a winner at the track and trip, and can figure in the finish. But good friends at Sportsbet, they got money back 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on Saturday. So if you don't mind the each way odds and you get a little bit of juice for running 4th, money back.
Well, if that's the case, mate, I'm going to get $50 back at least, because I'm on Rhapsody Rose.
Ooh.
Just because I think she is just the best horse in the race. Enough's been talked about last start. Jay Hucks goes on board.
Yeah,
Chris Munster's main man,
Yeah, he is the big dog for
the
the
big
stable.
dog. So look, let's just hope she can get it back. She's probably run her best races at the Gold Coast as well. I think she that Magic Millions, nothing went away. I think she kicked old mate in the bloody guts that day. I think that was Magic Millions Day, and then broke the gate and still held on to run a 6th or 7th or something like that. So hopefully class prevails. But you're right, our good friends at Sportsbet can look after you there if you finish 4th again, like we usually do. But hey, good plug there, mate. So Margs, we had a good little tipping comp last week too. We haven't even touched on that yet. I think we had about 160 people load up, which was always good for us to see if we can find any winners from anywhere. But we had a good couple of winners as well. So
it really went down to the wire too.
Did
I
think it was.
I know my missus was sitting at home with looking at the spreadsheet trying to work out if she got the last 2 winners at Sydney and Melbourne.
Yep.
And the other people in front of her came so good that she'd be able to sneak into 3rd, but it wasn't to be. I think she ran a nice 11th. So.
Yes, and I think she was asking you to rig it too. And just a reminder, Mugs, we don't know how to rig it. Otherwise, do you think we wouldn't have already done that by now?
Exactly.
We'd be loaded up with our nice little prize packs, thanks to the team. So every sort of couple of weeks we chuck one of those up, Mugs. So if you haven't yet, get a Sportsbet account, get to your mate Shipsy, all right, and let's win some back. Win some back. Well, we need to do that. Race 4, because we've got a big day, boys. We need to keep this trucking along. And speaking of the move before, I mean, top order is top line Queensland/Australia form. The move has to make a pretty good case for number 2. 900 metres though, there's a horse here, and Lloydy, I think much before you've jumped on wagon with the Mugs, Sugar Boom is the greatest 899 metre horse in the country.
Yep.
It's that 1 metre extra though that either brings her done to get pipped for 7th, or she hangs on and wins. And it's an absolute wild ride of every emotion that you can possibly imagine. She's going to lead, no questions there. It's just how long you're willing to hold on and ride with her.
Yeah, that's it. I can't hold on and ride with it. I tell you what, my drink of choice is Bundaberg rum, and Sugar Boom, obviously sugar, key factor coming from Bundaberg. But one thing that might even be better than Bundaberg rum that hails from Bundaberg is King Klaus chasing 5 straights. I love this horse. He is just a champion.
He is my
unreal, isn't
He's just as tough as they come. Like that last start at the Sunshine Coast, he led on the fence. Bob Lee's come down the middle of the track, and he had every right to drop off on. Like the horse had pestered him the whole way. He was gone. King Klaus, he was still there whacking away, and he got the job done. I think the 900 metres, that's where he'll be. In all honesty, I think he's the one that can sort of pester the likes of Sugar Boom, and Sugar Boom, we know she's a bit of a milk drinker, even over the 900. I think he'll make this run like a 1,000-metre race, and he'll put him to the sword at $11. Happy to be on, and probably nearly close to best of the day for me.
Yeah, I'm on. All hail the king.
King's
He's my absolute favourite at the moment. Replaces Jungle Edge as my number 1 stable star in terms of where I have them. Cannot go against here. The move's form super, carrying 54 kilos up from Sydney. I'm not going to, Steph Thornton, TJ, the whole, gets the setup from Sugar Boom, potentially from Georgie, and they could have the race at their mercy. But King Klaus, bulletproof.
Worth noting, King Klaus drops 3.5 kilos off that last win too, so he's going to.
It's $11 again. It's like it runs $11 every start.
Yeah.
It's turning into the new What's that? How could I
at
forget?
Wits End.
Yeah, it's the Outwits End of the
That's why we forgot it, 'cause we-
sprint world.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, I'm on it, yeah.
Yeah, look, tough as nails, and you've also got Tabasan in this field as well, who I'm not backing it because it's a bit of a milk drinker too. It's a bit of that race, isn't it? But it does nothing but lead crazily sectionals as well. So what I might even have going on here, I'm on Sugar Boom because I'm ready to ride one more time. There was a lot that went wrong last prep. I'm trusting in the boss man, TJ. I can't find my TJ Golan hat, so I can't even put it on for vibes. So, Tony, I know you're listening. Feel free to send through, 3? Maybe 4. We can give one away in the comp.
Yeah.
Cool. But Tabasan might lead, and I might think it's Sugar Boom and go crowing too early. So
go the early crow.
yeah, well, the move as well, dropping back to 900. I mean, he's a bit of a sit with a brilliant sprint kind of horse, isn't he? So I think he just will be too short for the move. So I'm happy to look outside there. So look, that'll be, well, it's fast and furious. It's speed all round. And we love that. We love that. Well, let's get some vibes back up here, boys. It's Group 1 fever. We're going to go to Sydney first. We thought we'd mix up the pod here, just keep everyone listening, because if we do them all at the start, you'll all turn it off, and we don't want that. You got the Very Elegant Stakes. Let's be honest, $2.20 you're getting for the champ, who was pretty good first up, but Mwanga just found her one step better, who then franked that by going down and running second last week in the incentivised stakes, which, P.S., how about that for a win?
Queenslander.
Pretty scary.
Just
it really has. It's another one of those ones. It's like between Zaki, Incentivize, and Very Elegant, there's a few races that look sort of sewn up already potentially. I mean, I don't think it really matters
It's the
where
battle,
they go.
the battle of the three for the spring, really, isn't it?
That's right. And interesting listening. So obviously the weights came out for the cups, and they got 55.5 kilos for Incentivized in both cups. But Ray Sokolsky sort of lets I suppose punters know that the Cox Plate could be on the cards as well. So Caulfield Cup's main target, Cox Plate 7 days later could be quick backup back in trip, and then Melbourne Cup potentially. So if he goes to the Cox Plate, we could be in for a crack at Incentivised visa. It'd be Very Elegant. Like, throw in a few internationals. It's going to be a great race.
I would love that to be the plan and not bypass the Caulfield Cup.
No, they said the Caulfield Cup is their that's their number one goal this spring.
Because that's something.
We'll win the Caulfield Cup.
Well, if he wins the Caulfield Cup,
55.5 kilos, sure.
You'd
What beats it in
expect
that? I can't see anything beating it.
nothing beats it, but then you'd expect it to get half kilo, a kilo for the Melbourne Cup, and
I think
then
you can only get a half kilo penalty.
Yeah,
56
okay.
is, I think, looking at the weights and just reading between the lines, it
Much
can
more
only get
much
half a kilo if it does get a penalty. So
well, it could be super.
yeah.
Well, is Very Elegant going to be the danger?
Speaking of Caulfield Cup winners, I think she is. Yeah, she gets the wet track on Saturday up to the mile, and realistically, what
She's going 57 against these
I don't
cats.
know.
Well, that's it. What
It's a joke.
can you make a case for?
That's it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
this
mean,
is
at least
why-
there's a decent feeling. You're not getting four horses run against
Yeah.
her, but they're a cat.
I'll give
Cascadian
shouts
Colding
for-
and think it over, carrying 59. She's
Yeah.
got 57 on the back.
That mare's away on such
Give me a
yeah.
spell.
I think Cascadian's the only probably the exacta horse, just a Doncaster winner at 950 in a 1600 Randwick mile race, but yeah, very elegant.
Living certainty.
Cool. Well,
Yeah,
Low.
Very Elegant. Well,
$2.15 is a spoil.
well, you boys will be able to get off the Group 1 scoreboard mark then, hey?
Yeah,
Just-
I'm going to make it 2 for 2 later on, mate, with a bit of a bolter too,
there you
just
go.
quietly.
That's right. And look, if all else fails, just do what I did last year, Bean, and back Very Elegant every Group 1. You'll rack for it.
That went okay.
Hey, it looks
That
good
went
when
okay
you,
for you, didn't it?
looks good when you say you picked 9 Group 1 winners. You know, it doesn't.
6 of them were very elegant, but anyway, away we go. Yep.
That's exactly it. Race 5, we're back up the GC, so get the white shoes, white belt, white sunnies combo back on their mugs.
Yep.
And Killer Kilner, Robbie Heathcote, that little duo, first leg of the quaddie before the first leg of the quaddie. Uswat, $4.20 favourite, coming through the midweeks to a Saturday to now with the BM78. Fortified last start winner, Montez last start winner, Ocean Treaty was a huge last start winner. So you got those top 4 in the market, all last start winners. But this is, you go down the list, it's a big field. 1800 is going to be a little bit of a cluster F-bomb at the start for some of these horses. So, Bean, I know you love just Finding winners, mate. That's what you do.
Mate.
Give us one.
I'll do the best I can. I'm on Ascot again. I've been on. I think I'm not sure if it wasn't a podcast day, but I caught it at the Sunny Coast the day it won at about 280. I was on last start. Pretty much belted them. It's never raced this track. Does get back. That's a query for me because I think if it's playing pretty leaderish and they're not running on, it's a bit of a problem. But anyway, Killing the Sticks, she's flying at the moment, gets the claim, handles the trip. I don't think 1800. I probably prefer to see 2000 if I'm honest. I wanted to keep stepping up, but you got to trust Bobby Heathcote here. I think $4. I know the field's pretty smart. You got fortified, obviously Montez from Jaden's comments before, Ocean Treaty.
Yeah,
but that was a $27, $40, $100, whatever it was winner last start.
It was obvious.
And then Prospectus, that's a cat. So I think it wins again, $4. Thank you.
Speaking of winning again, mate, you're on a horse chasing a hat trick. I'm on another one chasing a hat trick. We heard Jaden. He sounded pretty bullish about Montez and chasing 3 straight. You mentioned the Gold Coast attire, mate. White fedora, white shirt, white pants.
Matches the winners, doesn't it?
Montez Silks is all white. Yeah, look, I think Barrier 6 is going to be one of the only leaders in the race. She, I should say. Yep. 4-year-old, but she's won her last 2 at Doomben over the 1600, and she's led all the way in both, and won well. Ears pretty sort of eased down over the line. I think the Irons ran second last time, I believe. It might have lost on protest at Toowoomba on Saturday night.
T-Bar form's good form.
Yep, that's it. Good friend of the show, KO. Knocked him off. But I think Montez can lead and win again with Jaden's 3 kilo claim.
Mate, can't add too much more to that. I'm on Montez as well. I was going to try and make a case for Prospectus, but Beans shut that down pretty quick, so we'll move on.
You didn't have Prospectus to read off, mate. That was the problem.
I didn't have a case
either. Have one for a few years either.
Just like to put a bit of shock value into the show, Look, I think race 6 will be short and sharp here. Quaddy time now, so I jumped the gun a bit before, but this could just be a 1-out leg. We own a smart one, $1.50. It's short, it's sweet, it could be that simple, but Tremonto brings a pretty good form coming into this race. Interesting to hear, I guess Tremonto's the exposed premier form so far. We own a smart one, it's just a matter of, when are you going to get to the top level so we can see what you can do? And this is probably nearly there. Class 6, but
we're in a smart ones. Yeah, that into very elegant. Get $2.50, whatever. Maybe $2.80 or something like that. Probably. Yeah, you might get 3s. Yeah, that's 200% bank interest.
That's it.
Whatever you've got in your account, load the gun, but gamble responsibly, of course. I'm going to jump the gun here because there's a horse coming up in this race before we even get to your 2 tips.
It's not Ditmas, is it?
Beans in the sea, mate.
I'm talking wop, that's some wet ass.
This week is Ditmas.
Oh, no.
It's Ditmas, mate.
It's Moss's favourite non-winning horse.
Mate, it's Ditmas. So I had to jump the gun here.
I might need to listen.
I can't wait any longer here. Just before Moz goes out and backs this absolute fool. Its last win was September 2020 over 1300 in a 6-horse field. It beat home another one of Moz's favourites in Chauffeur.
Yeah,
that says a fair bit about its ability, doesn't it? Right, that's pretty horrific. I think it's got a 24% strike rate in terms of winning. 3 of those were its first 3 starts. So that's how well it's gone since the 4th start. It is
looks good
horrific.
Yeah.
It doesn't run a yard over 1300, so lucky it's 1200 here if Moz does want to launch in again. But mate, it's solely a first up horse. It'll have no juice in the legs. This thing can't win. Average odds of $5.18. It's an absolute cat, and it is in the sea. Over to you, Moz.
All right. Well,
Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's
mate, if you do it this week, I'm out.
Lee Kilner on board as well. I tell you what, everything's piecing together.
This is a recipe for disaster.
You know what? I'm gonna very reluctantly take your professional advice and wisdom on board. Jump off Ditmas and jump on the $1.40 favourite.
Wow. You're brave. You are brave.
Hey, who needs value when you can find winners?
Yeah.
That's right. I've actually got a black booker here.
Oh God.
Horse 2, we own a smart one.
I was going to say I was
good.
No, but no, I can't add anything. But all I'll say is well done to the owners, because if you've named a horse, we own a smart one before its debut, and it's won 6 or 7 by a combined.
Yeah, you're a smart one.
Combined 24 lengths. Like good on you. That's hats off kind of thing. Well done.
Thinking, how does Project Paperclip tie into that sort of naming vibe?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe Paperclip's holding a stack of winners photos we've got.
That's it. Or the bundle of 50s that we're going to launch into at every start. All right, race number 7. So very elegant into Weona Smart 1. Do we just throw Miami Fleiss in there too, Bing? $1.55.
I think she's too smart. I think the 1300's just a bit of a. I don't know. That last 100, is she a bit vulnerable, or is it just she just wasn't 100% right last? Like Champagne Army scares the living daylights out of me. I know she's $7, and back to 1300. But yeah, I mean, I've got her on top. I can't go against her. But $1.45, I don't know if I'll lob her into that multi maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just Wednesday?
Should win, yeah.
It's the $1.40 pop that I probably wouldn't be backing on the day.
Yeah.
But I do think that if you're going to have trifectas and whatnot, you probably just stand her out on top.
Yeah.
Even saying that, but I've liked what the Pines has done in her first 2 runs, and she did. She ran 3rd behind Miami Fleiss last start with 56. Goes up 1.5 kilos, but.
She just doesn't like winning though, eh?
No, she's...
Because I like her too, but she's just... Oh,
I mean, she's won 6 of 15. I'd be happy with her in the stable, but I think we'll see an improvement at the Gold Coast, even though she's none from 3 there. But yeah, look, Miami Fleiss on top, the Pines, the Dangers, Champagne Arnie, Big Watch, offer freshen up.
Yeah.
Back to 1300. Do they still go to a Toowoomba Cup in 7 days' time? Is this just a bit of a pipe opener for the T-Bar Cup?
There was a bit of sprue too about Archana for the Wallace stable back in the day as well.
They've said that for years.
And it's just like, it's sort of done nothing. I don't know, anyway.
Yeah, look, what's a trainer get? Bloody 10%?
Yeah.
Tony Gollins, easiest $7,250 I'll ever get.
Yeah, right.
Miami Fleiss.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to do it all last night and wrote them down, so... Don't worry. Well, I'll take 50% too. Black Soil, they get it right.
Yeah,
they get it wrong.
God, they got some good horses.
It's more that, yeah, you're right. I understand where you two are coming from, and when you get shorties, you more look at, well, yes, it should just win, hence the market, but is there a case for something that could beat it? And I just can't make a case for anything.
No, that's why it's on top.
So it's
not a good track.
Process of elimination, simple as that. Let's move on, hey? Let's move
do it.
on. All right, race number 8, Mr. Placement himself, Mickey Costa. So we could have a bit of a nice day out. He's got perfect deal to more than number 1, which was a good winner last start. Melian goes on, who I think he's a bit of a good rider there for the Costa yard. But your boy, Pure Purgatory, KO Racing. That's
good friend of the show.
Good friend of the show. This is a pretty good little test, actually. $18 is a bit of a overs, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I think, but again, it's one of those fields that you could make a case for it, and 3 on the trot at 18s. I'm probably convincing myself to get on it now anyway. 1400 class 3 set weights, Lloydy. What's the GC man himself sniffing about for?
I think you only have to go back and watch More Than Number Wins. There you go, that's a new name. More Than Number Wins. More Than Number 1 wins. Watch its last start, it was super. Like, it was, got a long way back, and Melian, great ride, patient ride, just picked the runs. He's going to have to do something similar from barrier 13 again, but this horse knows where the line is. He's just got a big action on him, and a few people sort of tipping that he looks like a Stradbroke horse for 6 months' time. So maybe just watch this space with More Than Number 1, but I think he wins again on Saturday in the penultimate. $2.30 with our good friends.
Interesting. 5-year-old gelding.
Very lightly raced.
18 starts, I guess that's it.
Ex-Sydney horse.
He does do pretty well that way, Costa, doesn't he? He gets some tried horses, improves them.
He almost always buys tried as well, like a lot of them are.
He outbid us for one the other day, which he ended up getting outbid on with Relucent. So I wonder where that horse is going to go now. But yeah, you're right, Bean. 2 from 2 on the Costa
Sydney form, I'm actually with the Sydney trainers in Peter and Paul Snowden with Chara Terra here. I'm just a bit wary of the Snowden camp bringing up.
When they're here, aren't they?
Yeah, that's literally what it's come down to for me. I've got full respect to More Than Number 1. I thought barrier 13 gets back, GC can be a problem. I just want to be on something that's going to be sort of on the pace. I mean, it's 7 from 12 placings this trip. It definitely doesn't like to cross the line first. That's a bit of a query for it, but I think it'll take a more forward position. It's got pretty good late closing sectionals, but I am scared of Pure Purgatory in all honesty. I think at $18 it's overs, but I think the Snowden yard just, it doesn't make sense to bring this thing up here with what's going on down in Sydney and the quality of racing down there. So that's the tick, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna change to Pure Purgatory on top. I think in saying that though, this is before the bit of a spruik. I might get a free hat too, so that's a win. But I find the Gold Coast track sort of mimics that Toowoomba track as well. It's a bit tight, it's a shorter straight.
Yeah.
And if you stay up late Saturday nights like we do, and for some reason bet on Toowoomba racing, it's been putting a bit of a gap job. Not anymore, that's right. Been putting a bit of a gap job on some of those wins as well. So at the price, I'm gonna have to go, but more than number ones, she should put this field away if she's gonna get to that sort of level.
She's gonna get to Stradbroke level. She should bolt in.
Well, she probably. I guess what are we? As well. We're having fun with the sexes. There's only a 68 rating too, so
he's got a way to go.
He needs to. Well, there's probably that race coming up. Summertime is that there's an exempt race into the Stradbroke
for 4-year-olds, so he's 5.
See, Mr. Costa, got your date of births wrong. Not so good on the placement after all, were we? Alrighty, well.
He's up, mate. He's starting to have a go at him, mate. He's an absolute legend.
Give us a shirt.
Oh yeah, I think he's doing alright. I don't think water off a duck's back. Boys, we're back for Mug of the Week. So this week we got Jacko Brown on, who's a long-time Mug faithful. So he's a Ripper lad, and I believe
it's his bloody birthday yesterday or today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's his birthday today or yesterday. Yeah. Jacko, whenever you're listening, mate, it's your birthday for the whole week, and you're gonna take those birthday vibes into Saturday, have an absolute fill up, and then you're gonna buy into our new horse, which is Mr. Paperclip going forward. So have a listen to Jacko's Mug Bet of the Week. This week we'll be going towards the breast cancer charities.
G'day Mugs, honoured to be Mug of the Week. My tip, Caulfield Race 5 number 2, Starry Legend. No official trials, but had a beautiful jump out with I'm Thunderstruck. Should run well, $8. Thank you.
Oh, beauty.
Okay, there we go. So, look, we need to pick some winners as well, lads, and we've got one more chance at the GC, and that is the Get Out Stakes. We love the Get Out Stakes. Killer Kilner, Run for Glory, Mr. TJ Golan lead. So she has a bit of an affiliation with this horse because she doesn't ride for the big boss man too often, but you're getting $3.25. If we go back 2 from 2 at the track, 1 win, 1 second, not a bad little record. Bean, is it your chance for redemption here? You know, I took that full Nelson lock off you, slapped it on the bookies, I rorted them. Now it's your chance. Do you want to have him back?
Nah, I'm good. Thanks. You can keep him. I'm with Ulysses here. I think he gets a nice weight drop here with the claim. It'll be just in behind the speed of Full Nelson, which clearly will be leading. Trained at this track is a bit of a tick for the Freedman yard. And I just think it's over the odds at $8. I don't think it's been as bad as its form suggests this prep. I'm happy to be with at the about the $8. It's a pretty open field. I mean, Tokariki lads in there, Samurai couldn't refuse. They sort of are all like thereabouts. Like I think
it's quite exposed.
Yeah, I would have tipped these about I've tipped Captivity, Genobi, Joymaker makes an appearance for the real sickos out there. If you're desperate to burn $50, throw 50 on the nose of Joymaker and have
you won't get a bonus bet back for finishing 4th there. That's for sure.
And I just think happy with Ulysses in it's an open race.
Mate, the show is Mugs punting. That's our name. I feel like a mug here at the quaddy legs. We got $1.40, $1.40, $2.30, and then I think the favourite Run for Glory in the Get Out. I think he can be winning again. Getting back in
dollar on for 100%,
my
man.
Right. Yep. Getting back in the winner's stall. Last time we saw him win was 19th of September last year, which is almost 12 months ago to the day. Probably at this meeting actually, because it was at the Gold Coast in a benchmark 90. It might have even been this exact same race. This is a BM85, so
Golan sticks to winning form.
That's right.
He's been waiting.
But that win brought an end to a five race win streak, and the start before that it was its first loss was also here at the Goldie behind Tracy May, who Golan used to have when she was pretty pretty speedy little mare. She led that day and Run for Glory got back and ran on really well. So that was his 2 run to the Gold Coast, and I just think second behind Ballistic Boy last start, who came out and trounced them again on the weekend.
Yeah,
that's probably the form, and yeah, Leah takes 3 kilos off. She's got to win 1 on Saturday, so Queensland's second best apprentice. She can win the get out.
When you're on favourites all day, you'd think you'd get one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Not
That's
last
right.
week when we backed her.
No.
Yeah, well, speaking of apprentices, speaking of TJ Golan, you're right, mate. We are mugs punting.
Yep.
And the number 1 rule on mugs punting is the other Golan runner.
Yep.
And I hate to back it because I'm absolutely
you're gonna
say
say the
but
word.
it's Toriki lad. $9. I'm getting a terrible price for a horse that has never won first up.
Horrible
never,
others.
never won second up. But it's just that horse that will attract bets every single time it goes around because it flashes late with brilliant closing splits and just doesn't get there enough to make it one of those horses you want to love. But there's going to be a heap of speed here, I think. And it's going to sit wide. I guess you got Full Nelson, who led all the way last start. 1 for Moz, great. Run for Glory doesn't know any other way as well. Bentley Magic Ulysses. So all your picks, lads, they're going to be hopefully taking each other out. Sets up beautifully for a swooper to come down the outside rail there at the GC come about 5 p.m. when the Bundy and Cokes are just flying through the air because they've all listened to the Mugs rule. And that's Golan in the last, but not the one you think.
Yeah. Loves the track and distance too at the Goldie Tokariki.
It does.
3, 2 and 1.
Yeah, but zip from 5 first up, zip from 4 second up. So it doesn't look like a real fresh horse. But
it's not. It needs miles in the legs.
Conditions to suit, hopefully, are in my favour. That's okay. It's Group 1 time again. We've got to pick the value back up here, lads. So we're going down to our good friends at Caulfield. So Rupert Clark Stakes, handicap conditions. You've got the battle of the big 2 South Australians again, really. You've got Behemoth and Borossa. Borossa gets the vital weight swing. I think it's about 4 kilos. It gets on Big Behemoth this time around. Probabill's in the mix. There's that much hype about I'm Thunderstruck that I'm nearly hating this horse already, and I don't think I've ever really seen it race.
I backed it once and it was
It's
a
good.
certainty,
It's good.
and then
Look, it's
it
good horse.
it lost that day though.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Should have won.
I'm with you. I'm not a fan of it.
But I think either way, we could be saved here because I believe it's first emergency. So unless something comes out, it might not get a start. But Probabil as well in the mix, which is a Group 1 winning champion mare in her own right. Group 1 Rupert Clark boys.
Yeah, I can go first if you like.
Yeah, you mate. Set us off.
Mate, I'm giving my tip out first, and I think this horse is going to be first out, first home. Buffalo River for Mike Moroney and Paddy Maloney. Look, I'd rather see a bit of sting out of the ground. It's none from 8 on a good track. It's currently a good 4, but just having a look at the weather, we've got
there's rain. There's rain coming. There's plenty of rain coming.
Yeah, 70% chance tomorrow, 50% on Saturday at Melbourne. So
it'll be soft.
If we get to a soft 5 or a 6, that brings him right into it. But barrier 4 with 52.5 kilos. This horse, he's 6 starts, first up, 2 wins, 3 seconds. He's 3 starts at Caulfield, a win in 2 seconds. Track and distance, he's never missed the place. Over 1,400 from 10 starts. He started close to a favourite he started favourite in the Blamey Stakes at Flemington over the summer and got beat by Star of the Season. I think 50 Stars ran second. He led that day over the mile, and mile probably just a touch too far for him. Gets back to the 1,400 first up, $20. I think that's a good little each way bet in a race where you get your money back if you come fourth.
Lloydy, whilst you're running hot, let's just get his best of the day and he's around the grounds as well. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
you're sizzling, mate.
sure.
That's all. Don't want to slow you down.
No, right. Best of the day at the Gold Coast. Race 2, horse 1, Perfect Deal. She is the best horse in the race. I don't care how much weight she has to carry. Over 2,200. She's got London Bank of Form and she wins this. Around the grounds, Caulfield. Might be a little race-to-race double from the Sir Rupert Clark. Buffalo River at 20s into race 9. Horse 6, Chassis at $15. Oh. Last start comes off a second, first up behind Probabil. Nearly ran down the star Kiwi mare, who's just about favourite in the Group 1 race earlier. Chassis stays at the 1,200 at the same trip in a Group 3. Barrier 8 with Mickey D, plenty of speed there from Night Raid, La Mexicana, Miss Albania, Bella Nipotina, Enchantingly. They all go forward, boys. Chassis smoking the pipe in behind over the top of the late. Yes.
That's a pretty decent little double. All right, all right, I like that. Bean, Rupert Clark, banger.
Mate, I'm with you a bit on the weather. I think there's going to be plenty of rain coming, and there's one actually being brought over by it looks like the Gangemi stable from our friends over the WA. So I'm with Samizdat actually. It was 1.4 lengths away in a railway. Loves the sting out of the track. We've got Craig Newitt, who is low key flying in the provincial circuit in Melbourne. He is absolutely airborne. I just think it gets all the favours here. It's 2 from 2 third up. It's 4 from 6 on a soft. Has never lost on its one start in the heavy going. It gets in with a pretty light weight, and if we do get a few take on Buffalo River, which I think we probably will on the weekend, they just tend to take it up. I know there's no other real key leaders here. Barrier 6, I think it can. It generally is sort of in the back of the pack, but if he can take up a position sort of 4 pairs back, 4 or 5 pairs back, I think Samizdat is a knockout hope at $27.
Did you see his win first up in the Newmarket at Belmont?
Yeah, it looks pretty impressive.
It's been one of those horses that should have been at this Group 1 level a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I backed him in the railway. It ran like the best 50 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It just hasn't.
It just
hasn't been able
it
to
flies
do it.
late.
Yeah,
like
but they don't bring it. They're not going to bring it over and waste their time if they're not like it's
Now
not
or
ready to go. Like this is to go.
Is there a race at Flemington
that it could go for?
Yeah, like where's the 2 against Caulfield as well? Yeah. Because I looked at it too and I thought, geez, great value, but I was just worried that Caulfield straight will be too short for it because you got Belmont and Ascot, like they're both big wide open
tracks. Long straights.
Like that was my only knock, but if it settles closer to 6,
yeah,
like
he just needs to settle closer.
Group 2, Group 3 though. At Flemington.
That's it.
Yeah, I think you
probably
sprints
one
the
of those.
Dali, isn't it? It's coming back to 1200. It's probably not what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Around the grounds, I'm off to race 1 at Caulfield, which I don't normally do. I don't normally like betting at Caulfield too often, but Heller for the Scotty Brunton yard. He's got a pretty big opinion of this horse. He thinks it's going to be his first Group 1. For me, I think it'll lead this out from the barrier. It's a race full of sort of dirty thoughts and all those kind of those ones that have it's a field of spruikers.
Yeah, it is.
But Heller is a winner, and I think it wins again. I think it's about $4 in the first, and I think there's money back 1, 2, 3 and 4 sports bets. So it'll run. If it doesn't win, it'll run the top 4. And it's $4. Like if it's going to be winning Group 1s, it should be shitting in here surely.
You'd feel pretty stiff if you own it. You've won 7 from 7, and then you go to your first Group 1 and run last.
Yeah,
in the Oaks, but obviously just didn't stay the 2000.
It just doesn't run the trip. But I think this is sort of its. I think it's 1400. That's sort of its key trip.
It's figure it all out prep, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Have a crack while you're fit.
Beans bang at race 5. Aswat.
Oh,
I can be an ass face, but I'm going to be on Aswat on Saturday, so to get into that, Mugs.
You love that, don't you?
Yeah, it's one of mine. Yep.
Hey, Rupert Clark for me. I'm sick with Amish Boy. I think it's going to be a bit tricky.
Off the big boy behemoth.
Yeah, I just think the weights this year are just too big of a factor. Big field, Behemoth is coming barrier 3. I mean, it likes to draw inside, but it's going to be a lot of traffic coming around the turn. But Amish Boy, I was on it last start. Master Crusader still can't believe it won. Anyway, but this thing it's a real non-winner. I think it's won once in its career, but it's always contested this level. I think it's better ridden when it can swoop late, and with no weight on the back. I'm hoping we can see that at Caulfield. We'll find out, won't we? Moving on. Moz's must have, mate. We're going back to the GC because we love it. I'm sticking with race number 2, top order. I've got to make it. I've got to make it.
Here we go.
Got to make it.
You upset the big nigger over here.
I mean, it's done everything right. There's nothing it's done wrong to get on. Gets in well at the weights, and everything's going well. Randwick, I'm going around the grounds. So there is an interesting race here. And look, it's not a Group 1, so we don't touch on the shorts. But Nature Strip, Rothfire, what an absolute battle.
That is a belter.
We'll be pretty excited for that one. But race 5 is the Bill Ritchie handicap. So there's a horse here that needs to win this race to get a start in the Epsom so that I can get my incredibly unders futures bet for the Epsom to be paid out. And that's a tissue. Gets in here, 53.5 kilos. The greatest fourth year. I'm not even going to continue on it last start, but
Please don't.
it needs to win to get in.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Waller. He's a grand final trainer. So that'd probably be his lightweight chance in that handicap Group 1 mile, wouldn't it? Because he'd have the big dogs who are going to get ridiculously high weights and find it tough, like Holding. Start of the Seas, even
they'll be carrying the grandstand.
Carrying the grandstand, they're just at that level now where they you're seeing the weights make a difference.
I've got one in that race that Waller also has that'll probably be a lightweight Epsom chance in Aramea. It's the former Singaporean, ran second to Zaki last start, was really good in the tramway first up over 1,400, and it's $8 here as well. It's probably the same sort of boat. Needs to win this probably to get into the Epsom, but even if it does, I think it will be down on the weights in an Epsom, maybe 53.
Yeah, that's pretty sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Are you with Rothfire?
I'm probably going to try and not have a bet in the race, but that won't happen.
It's...
No, I am. From what we've seen, he's back ready to go.
Yeah.
But this is.
Yeah,
I don't think win or lose. I don't think Bobby Heathcote would be disappointed if Nature Strip comes out leads win and Rothfire's doing it well in behind, because you'd want to see him get through the race okay to go. All right, he's fit, he's healthy. Let's pump some work into him for the Everest now.
I've never been able to catch Nature Strip, but I think after his first up win, I think I made a bit of a comment there at the Hamo that he'll go unbeaten this prep, and you're getting 230 about him in the shorts here.
Yeah.
I think it's nearly a certainty.
I just wonder why they're going here, because the plan was never to come here, although I thought this was the plan, because the last two Everests, they've done what the plan was going to be the plan, and it hasn't worked. So I think stepping him up to 1,200 is what they're trying to do here, and keep him fresher.
Yeah.
But it's going to be
Lost and running trial super.
It's a pretty good... Yeah,
well, that's the unknown of the whole...
Rothfire's kind of... It's just...
You want to see it.
Yeah,
if it comes out and Dixon, great. We're on board. We're on board anyway.
Yeah, I'm not on board. It's just like it's like literally the best sprinter in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't like.
Yeah.
Could be anything, but like you can't really.
You wonder what Rothfire would start if Nature Strip wasn't here. It'd have to be almost $2 favourite, wouldn't it? I mean, you got Mars Crusader in there.
But Mars Crusader was good first up.
Yeah, real good. I love Mars Crusader.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a bit of I think I'll be Benny 2 bets in the old in the Everest, I think, because I can't not back Mars Crusader. Love that horse. But,
interesting race though. Like you got Wild Rulers.
Decide the market though. This race in terms of the Everest and how that frames. Like there's obviously a few spots to go, but this race will be the one where it sets the price.
I think the 6 Everest favourites are all
in here, apart from Classique Legend.
Yeah,
is that the only addition?
Yeah. Well, that's the only left field. Selection that's not in this race that you could make case for the Everest.
Yeah, that's it. Like Adelong, it's 150.
Eduardo, is it? It's not running here, eh?
It's in.
Oh, it's in.
It's in.
Yep. So they're all
there.
They're all there.
Ready to watch.
I think the Everest favourite
will be the winner of this race.
Will be the winner of this race, apart from Classique Legend, who we might, by the sounds of it, might not see until first up in the Everest.
Yep. Which could be huge. Which means there's something very wrong, or it's going very, very well. But then again, why do you want to price for a horse when you're going to win $7 million as a
they could care less about
connection?
That, about
I guess.
Price,
I guess Les probably doesn't get all of that, but you take your 10%, wouldn't you?
I think the owner's a slot holder anyway, so
exactly.
Who cares, Mr. Ho?
Alrighty, well, Mugs, we'll have a bit to divulge next week, so make sure you tune in. Keep up the fun times. We'll have a bit of a comp going for the weekend, which could be a bit of fun. Give away some beanies, get the merch moving.
Yeah.
See you, Mugs.
Sounds good. Catch you, Mugs.
See ya.